So, the most interesting part of being an YouTuber is actually to find locations to shoot one perfect video. And it is very difficult nowadays to find out the environment outside the hustle bustle of city environment, to go into some peaceful jungle kind of an environment. So that is going to be the most interesting part. Right now it's around 10 a.m. early in the morning, and I'm out here in some jungle environment just to shoot this one single video. Also this thing, your daily routines, that is seen from that 6th house. So it's 10 a.m. I'm working here. Maybe you are going to work in some office space, or maybe you are at home. So your daily routines are actually seen from this 6th house. And in this particular video, I'm going to decode the mystery behind 6th house lord through all the 12 houses in Vedic astrology. And I've already covered up to the 5th house, and I would like to even thank you so much, all of my viewers, for giving me such care, affection, support towards my YouTube channel, towards my work, the appreciation that I'm receiving. Thanks a lot for everything. So first of all, let's try to decode the mystery behind that 6th house, and then try to study its placement in all the 12 houses in Vedic astrology. See, 6th house, as I told you, this is going to be the house of your daily routines. You wake up early in the morning from 5 a.m. and maybe you go to bed at night around 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. at night. So you need to understand every person is, or every individual is going to have different set of routines. That thing is actually seen from this 6th house. 6th house in Vedic astrology is also the house of debt. Any kind of mortgage loan you are going to acquire from bank in order to start your business, in order to purchase a home, in order to purchase your car. So that loans and these things are seen from the 6th house. If the dignity of that lord is powerful, you will easily get loans, and even you can easily repay your loans. But sometime that loan defaulters and these things, it become difficult for you to repay your loans. Look into the condition of your 6th house. This is also the house which represents the health and the disease part. The kind of disease which you are going to attract, or which you are going to get in this present life, is actually seen from the 6th house. Also, most importantly, all the lawyers, advocates, any sort of professions into the medical industry, into the healing industry also, that thing is also seen from 6th house. Even your enemies, and these are not the enemies which are present outside in your home environment or in your work environment, but these are actually the Shadripus. Shadripu mean the 6 enemies which are actually present inside you, that is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, all that things. Your lustfulness, your desires. So the anger is also part of that thing. So all that things is actually going to come through that 6th house. Even most importantly, if you look, the connection of 6th house is directly associated with the 12th house as well. So they are constantly exchanging some sort of energies. 6th house is ruled by the sign of Virgo in a Kal Pursh Kundli, and 12th house is ruled by the sign of Pisces. So you see the two opposite realms of the life. One, on the other hand, this is the earth element where you need to look for the materialistic side. You need to earn money in order to feed your family. And look into the 12th house, that is the escape route of all your problems. You want to liberate yourself, or you want to be in a path of spirituality, yoga, meditation, learning Vedic astrology and all that stuff. So these are the reality grounds, and 6th house lord is very, very important house, specifically if the 21st century is concerned, because I will tell you, this house is also going to give you Ajivika. Ajivika mean to say, in order for you to eat food, you need some source of income in your life. Money is the requirement. So 6th house lord, wherever this is going, it shows the Ajivika, like from which areas you are going to acquire money in order to feed for yourself and for your family. Even depending upon which planet is actually the controller of your 6th house. Sometime there are malefics, sometime depending upon, maybe there are going to be some malefics or benefic planets that are controlling this house. So now let's try to understand what exactly. And one more thing I would like to add on here. Please don't consider just this from the predictive side of astrology. I'm present here to actually give you some insight so that you can learn this subject of Vedic astrology and utilize that information in your day-to-day activities. Then this is going to be very, very beneficial for all of you. First of all, if the 6th house lord is posited in the 6th house, so this is going to offer a hardcore protection from the enemies into your life. But now it depends, like which planet is actually the controller of your 6th house, whether this is a malefic planet or this is a benefic planet. Is it a Jupiter, saint-like planet, Mercury, or maybe Saturn? If I will tell you, malefics are gaining control over the 6th house, and when I say malefics, namely Saturn, Mars and Surya, planet Sun as well. But specifically, if these malefics, they are gaining control over the 6th house and they are posited in the 6th house, your life is not going to be easy. This is not going to be a very easy pathway, because malefics, if they are posited in the 6th house, they tend to bring a lot of struggles, hardships and challenges in your life. Although with the malefic association or placement in the 6th house, they are also going to give you the ability to actually deal with that problems. But in the upper hand, these malefics have the ability to give you problems in the 6th house. If the benefics are the controller of 6th house, like Jupiter, Mercury and Moon and even Venus also, what is going to happen? Benefic planets, they tend to dissipate a very good amount of energy in the 6th house. And sometimes I will tell you, in my practical experiences I have seen, with the benefic planets in the 6th house, there is going to be some sort of blessings which you are also going to receive in your life. It may be the direct blessings or the indirect blessings, or sometimes it is also seen the efforts you are going to put into this direction and you are going to receive the result from that direction. So why this thing is happening? Because of that 6th house lord placement in its own house. Also, one very important thing which you need to understand here, it is much better to actually have no planet sitting in the 6th house rather than any planet going over there. Why I'm tell you? See, any planet in the 6th house is actually going to put forth a restrictions over your day-to-day needs as well, or what is going to be your daily routines. Because here, if any planet is actually posited in the 6th house, then what is going to happen? This is going to disturb your day-to-day routine as well. This is not going to give you any fixed time to wake up early in the morning, this thing, that thing and that thing. So from the flexibility point of view, if no planet is posited over there, this is going to give you flexibility. Then you have the ability to be very flexible, work according to your own schedule. Anytime at the day you can work easily or independently. Even the planets in the 6th house is also the pure representation of a karmic debt, which you actually need to fulfill in this present life. Because this is the house which is going 2 places away from the 5th house. Now the 5th house is the house of your Purv Punya Bhav. So that is the house of your past life deeds, the accumulated karma which you have bring forth in this life. And I will tell you, 6th house is directly 2 places away from that 5th house. So it shows the karmic debt that you need to repay in this present life is seen from the 6th house. Now it depends which planet is actually the controller of 6th house and what is going to be its dignity. That is going to play a very important role in order to understand the karmas. Like if the planet like Sun is the controller of 6th house sitting in the 6th house, so it means that karmic debt is somewhat associated with your father. Moon is there, then Moon represents the mother. If Mercury and Mars is there, it represents some siblings or some karmic debt with them. Venus, then your spouse or life partner. Jupiter with gurus. Even the planets like Saturn, it represents some sort of a karmic debt is associated with the lower class people. Also, if the 6th house lord is posited in the 6th house, I request you one thing here. Although this is a powerful placement and I told you your life is not going to be easy, it is very important for you to actually work as per your own requirement. Because what is going to happen, this is the house which will force you to do job. This will forcing you towards routines also. But in order for you to become an entrepreneur or a business side, if I look into the life, then you need to have a lot of flexibility in your work environment. But 6th house lord in the 6th house is going to be that 9 to 5 kind of a curriculum, or even that school curriculum. Individuals or small children, they are going to school, then they are going to have like 8 o'clock till 3 p.m. they need to be in the school, in this school. So this is a disciplined kind of a environment. if the planet is over there, so these individuals, their focus is actually that planet try to build the self-discipline inside these individuals. Sometimes it's better to be very, very wild in your life. You need to be independent, taking more and more risks. So that 6th house lord in the 6th house is actually the halting factor behind taking risks. But as I told you, it depends upon the dignity of that planet or its condition in the higher divisional charts also. And is there any malefic or benefic aspect falling on the 6th house, then the results are going to definitely change. If the 6th house lord is going in the 7th house, then what is going to happen? Now many of you will think like that 6th house is the house of divorce and 7th house is marriage. So divorce is coming towards my marriage. I will tell you, this is the half truth. The planet in the 7th house is actually going to bring the karmic settlement from that areas into your life. I have already explained in one particular video where I have told you like 7th house lord is somewhat else. But the planets that are going towards the 7th house, they are going to play some sort of a karmas associated with the significance of that planet. So if the 6th house lord going in the 7th house, it means lot of challenges, hardships and struggles that are going to come in your life immediately after getting married. At the same time, this is going to bless you with a very growth oriented parameters also. And when I say growth oriented parameters, before your marriage, if suppose your life is very dull, average, or there is no excitement and no charm, immediately after marriage, all that difficulties part, they will also bring that charm and these things into your life. Now it depends upon your perception and dignity of planet, how you are going to perceive that thing, but that is eventually going to happen. Also, as I told you, 6th house is the house which will the pure representation of some sort of a medical fields as well. It represents the non-profit organizations and these kind of a thing. So if that lord is going in the 7th house, this is going to become a very spiritual combination as well. Because specifically the planets like benefics planets, if they are posited in the 7th house, so what is going to happen in the initial stages of their life, because 6th house have to play its part, so they need to see all the challenges, all the struggles, all the hardships, even all the heartbreaking moments. These individuals, they need to see these things in the very initial stages of their life, when they are in their school days or even in their college days. So they need to go through that process. Because if the dignity of that lord is very powerful in the 7th house, it means that planet somewhere want to protect your marriage. Now the relationship and marriage are two different aspects of life. If you are in one-on-one relationship with someone else, this is somewhat different. But if you are married with someone else, you are a life partner, that is somewhat else. So you need to understand that difference. I'm talking about the protection towards the marriage. I'm not talking about protection towards the relationship. Also, one very important thing, this house is also going to offer a lot of protection directly into that areas of your life. And by mean to say protection, sometime you will feel like my partner is very over possessive. Like he or she is calling me all the time, always sitting in my mind, and I'm always thinking about my life partner all the time. Why this thing is happening? Because 6th house lord in the 7th house is going to create a very obsessive kind of a love. Even they are that kind of individuals that don't even have the ability to even jump or move from one relation to new relation to new relation to all the time. Because in this way their routines are getting halted. 6th house lord in the 7th is not very easy or adaptable kind of a thing. Like they are going to be very afraid of taking new challenges, and even the change part is going to be very, very difficult with this combination. And if you are a married person with this combination, I will tell you, sometime depending upon your partner's kundli also, these scenarios are going to play a very important role. Sometime you want to make a change, you want to grow, you want to do something else, but it represents the difference in the opinions between you and your partner as well. That thing is also going to come through that house, because 6th house have the ability to bring some sort of a struggles, hardships into your life. And if it is in the 7th house, the biggest struggle is actually the change part. These individuals, they are very afraid of having any sort of changes in their life. It may be because that sense of fear is coming through their life partner, but that fear part is going to be present over there. Also, sometime if the planet is retrograde, or if the 7th house lord dignity is also very powerful, and then the 6th house lord going in the 7th house, then what is going to happen? This will create a never ending karma with some one particular person. Or consider it as an on and off relationship. Like for 1 to 2 months you are going to have a good conversation with that person. Now after 2 to 3 months, no conversation, nothing. Again same person is coming, same relationship is coming, again same conversation. So this is going to be that kind of a thing. It depends upon the retrogression part. Either the 6th house lord is retrograded, 7th house lord is retrograded, or they are sitting with some retrograde energy. It may be Rahu and Ketu then. So this represents that back and forth karma is present over there. Next, if the 6th house lord going in the 8th house, I will tell you, this is one of the most beautiful and very interesting conjunctions in Vedic astrology. First of all, 6, 8 and 12 houses, they are not considered good houses in Vedic astrology. And whenever the 6th house lord going in the 8th house, I will tell you, this planet is also capable, the Antardasha of this planet is also capable enough to predict the timings of your marriage. Because whenever any planet specifically from the 6th and 8th, they jump to their houses, like maybe 8th house lord going in the 6th house or 6th house lord going in the 8th house. So the Antardasha of that single most planet is sufficient enough to predict the timings of your marriage, like this is going to be your marriage. Because sometimes I have even seen in my practical experiences, 6th going into the 8th, this planet is also giving the results from the marriage and the married life part as well. Also with this placement, it becomes very difficult for you to go along with your in-laws or with your family members after marriage. 8th house is also the house which represents the joint assets between a husband and a wife. Or this is also the house which represents inheritance, inherited gains also. First of all, from the marriage and married life perspective, the relationship between both families, it doesn't matter if you are a boy or a girl, but the relationship with the boy side family and even the girl side family, complete kutumb, is not going to be a very cordial thing. Because here from the 8th house, 6th house lord going in the 8th house, so this is aspecting your 2nd house. And 2nd house is your kutumb sthana. Kutumb is a representation of a complete family. So because of the family disturbance, sometimes this can create the yogas of multiple marriages and separation also. Now it depends upon the dignity of that planet, how the dignity of the 8th house lord as well. But I'm still telling you, this is not a good placement from the family aspect side. Even this is not going to be a good placement even from your own family, not from your in-laws. So first of all, the only recommendation with this is to stay away from family. And it is much preferable for you and your partner to live in a secular family if you want to sustain or survive your relationship. Also, as far as the inheritance part is concerned, this is even going to create further more disputes at the time of inheritance. If you are having like 2-3 siblings, and if that conjunction is forming that combination, this will definitely going to put forth a lot of challenges at the time of inheritance. And after that, the scenario of the families are totally going to be changed. Disturbing placement from the family side. But in the positive side, what is going to happen? These individuals, they are very good money makers. When I say money makers, do you see a printing machine? If you click the button, so automatically that machine will start printing the currency notes. So this combination, if these individuals, they have that kind of a mindset or mentality actually to print that notes. And when I say printing, don't take it into what just this direction. Here I'm talking about a very strong financial sense inside these individuals. Because, and this is going to come in the very later stages of the life. It depends upon your planet, which either the maturity of that planet is going to bring that thing. It may be like Mars maturity is 28, Mercury 32, or like Saturn 35, 36. So it depends upon the maturity of that planet, but that is going to bring them the lot of financial sense inside them. Then they have the ability to actually create a more and more financial security in their life rather than anything else. Because here this lord is also aspecting the 2nd house of your savings, bank balance. So these individuals' energy, they tend to exhaust towards earning more and more money, because only the financial sense or the financial security with this combination is actually have the ability to bring that mental peace. There is no any other thing which you can do with that combination. Also, one very interesting thing, the planet from the 6th going in the 8th house, this is also have sometime the ability to give lot of hidden enemies in your life. And these are that kind of enemies which you will not be able to see with your naked eyes. Maybe they are present nearby you, they are shaking hand with you, they are drinking tea and coffee with you all the time. So it represents that kind of a thing. Very, very difficult to identify your enemies. And I request you, with this placement, it is much preferable for you to live alone rather than staying with some sort of a negativity or negative environments. Even this is a very good placement for you to conduct a lot of researches as well. Any sort of career in the field of research is very good. Even career in the field of business is also going to be a very, very good. If you want to become an entrepreneur, because in the 8th house, this is going to create transformations because of the 6th house activities. So this actually have the ability to break that blockage part. Blockage is actually the parameters which are presetted by society. So this have that ability to break that blockage, and they have the ability to then create something. This is going to be a very special placement from the entrepreneurship side as well. Now next is the 6th house lord going in the 9th house. First of all, study 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this is actually going 4 places away from its original placement. And whenever the planet is going Kendras, Kendra place away, Kendra mean the quadrant, okay? Please forgive me if I am using more Hindi words. Kendras mean the quadrant. So if any planet is going quadrant place away from its original placement, what is going to happen? In the initial stages of their life, they need to go through a extremely competitive environment. Specifically, I will tell you, when they are even in a school or in some college kind of a environment also, they are going to be very focused over that studies part. 9th house is also the house of higher education. So there is going to be lot of obsessions present inside these individuals, is to actually obtain that higher education into their life. But I will tell you one thing, the practical utilization of their knowledge and education is not going to come with this particular conjunction. Even most important part, it is very, very important for all these individuals that 6th house lord going in the 9th house, you need to actually give preference towards acquiring more skill set or more amount of practical knowledge rather than the theoretical knowledge. Because what is going to happen, their mind is always going towards competing with other people. Always. 6th house is competition. And 9th house is actually, this is a Dharmsthan which is ruled by Dhanu Rashi, the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius will also going to sometime create an ego inside these individuals because of their knowledge. Although this, with this combination 6 in the 9th, I am not promising whether they are going to have a huge amount of money or not, but I will promise you one thing, they are going to have a abundance of knowledge. It depends whether the planet is positive, malefic, or the that is other planet. Malefics tend to give the technical knowledge, but benefics in the sign of Pisces, in the sign of Cancer, in the sign of Scorpio, they tend to give the spiritual knowledge. So that knowledge, from the knowledge side, this is going to be a very good placement. But converting that knowledge part into a monetary process is going to be very challenging thing for these individuals. And I will tell you, if you are working into a 9 to 5 job, and if the dignity of 6th house lord going in the 9th house is very, very weak, you tend to fade away until and unless there are malefics in the 3rd and 11th house. When I say fade away, these individuals, they tend to lose interest. After doing job for 5 or maybe 6 or 10 years, then they suddenly lose interest in that thing. Because this is not a very engaging kind of a placement. Here their daily routines, so they want to have that relaxed mindset also. They want to have that kind of a peace of mind so that they can think about other different directions also. But this house is actually giving them joy, happiness. They are looking for comforts with this kind of a placement. But 6th house is the house of your fighting abilities. You need to fight. You need to go in the outside world, fight with people. You need to go into the professional realm, make an email or do some coding activity. So it become very difficult. I recommend you one very simple step. If you are having this placement, please chant the Bij mantra of that particular planet or the DT that is actually controlling that single most planet. Then this will start giving you more benefic results with the passage of time. And right now, if you are below the age of 35 with this placement, you have not seen a complete life yet. If you are an individual watching this video and if you are above 50, then you can relate to all the things which I am telling you. Because I told you this is also the placement which will sometime create midlife crisis. Like initially they are going to see success in the faces, okay. When I say success in the faces, maybe 2, 3, 5 years very successful. Then there is going to be a dip in their career. Again 2, 3, 5 years very successful. Again there is going to be dip coming. And sometime that dip is going to be very long. It depends upon the dignity of that planet also. But I request you to please chant the Bij mantra of the DT of that planet. This will actually help you to revive yourself from that karmas, because this is a pure karmic placement. It may be the ancestral karma depending upon whether that planet is in conjunction with Rahu, Ketu, debilitated, exalted, Sun, Moon, but it represents some sort of a karmic or ancestral debt is going towards the 9th house. This is also the debt of a guru. Like maybe in the previous birth you have like say something wrong towards a guru, or that their learnings or their teachings you have criticized. So that is why this placement is come. Next is the 6th house lord going in the 10th house. First of all, 6th in the 10th is also a very wonderful combination if you want to do a job 9 to 5. But as soon as you start to break the routines, what is going to happen? These individuals' mental capabilities tend to crush themselves inside. You know, that tug of war kind of a situation happening inside their mind. One side is pulling them towards, no, I need to go to job, earn money, feed my family, materialistic realm. And that other side is the spiritual realm. I need to do this thing, do that thing, doing spirituality, yoga, meditation all the time. So this is that tug of war kind of a situation. Even most important thing, if the 6th house lord is going in the 10th house, I told you this is daily routines are coming into your career. So with this placement, business is going to be difficult, but self-employment is going to be very easy for you individuals. If you want to work from home, from secludedness, because most of the time they are not very good in handling the team or team activities. But if you give these individuals the free hand, so they will perform excellent in the soul and individual contribution activities. Even one more important thing, 6th house is also the house of debt, acquiring mortgage or loans in your life. And if that thing is posited in the 10th house, this is actually in the original Karpurush Kundli, this is a Capricornian zodiac sign, where the exaltation of Mars take place, and Mars represents the real estate, land, property related matters. If the dignity of this 6th in the 10th is very powerful, then I will tell you, acquiring loan and mortgage and investment into the real estate have the ability to alter the financial success in the longer duration of time. But if the dignity is very weak and you take loan and debt and then invest somewhere else, it becomes difficult for you to repay that thing back. Even most important thing, 6th house is the house of your enemies. So enemies are also attacking in the working environment. It doesn't matter whether you are working in a multinational company, you are working in some small company, or if you are working in some medium or average company, it doesn't matter. But you will always see the leg pulling behavior of your like coordinates or subordinates all the time, because this is going to create a lot of jealousy factor inside all the other individuals. Other people, they will not be able to see you are becoming, particularly you are becoming successful. Because 6th house is also, I told you, Shadripu, jealousy, that factor is also directly coming towards that thing. Here I will tell you, just if you give them one weak sport towards your enemies, everything is going to collapse very easily. That is why I told you this is going to be an easy placement. This will give you job very easily, but it become very difficult for you to come outside that comfort zone and look towards the self-employment, where there is going to be no indulgence of any boss, hierarchy level is actually going to crush, or if you are in a competitive field, still this is not going to be considered as a good combination. So it is very, very important for you to actually revive yourself from this placement, and you need to start working towards your hobbies more and more. The work which you actually put your heart, mind, everything, and you will feel like that, oh, maybe I'm working or not working, I will not be able to recognize that thing. So if you are enjoying at the same time while working or working according to hobbies, then this placement have the ability to give you good results. Now if the 6th house lord going in the 11th house, most difficult placement, I will tell you. This is going to be considered as a extreme end placement. When I say extreme end placement, you can see these individuals, they are not going to be in between. Either they are going to be at complete 0 level or going to be at complete 100th position in their life. There is no in between pathway for these individuals. One more thing, this is also going to be very risk oriented personalities, because here as soon as they become more and more comfortable in their life, 11th house is the house of your hopes, wishes and desires. So this house is then exaggerate more hopes, more wishes, more desires inside you. Then these individuals, they will look towards, oh my goodness, I need to do this thing, this thing, this thing and that thing. And I will tell you, with this placement, it becomes very, very difficult for you to leave the materialistic realm. It is very important for you individuals is to do some sort of spiritual sadhanas or practice in your life. It may be doing some mantra yoga or some hatha yoga or some other forms of yoga. It is very important for you, because this combination will literally disturb your peace of mind all the time. You will not be able to sleep properly at night because of your desires. And that desire manifestation you need on the daily basis. I need to do this thing, that thing, that thing. Here I will tell you the only way to handle this placement is actually to set a very small goals in your life. And then try achieving and do celebration while you have achieved that thing. Otherwise, if you are having that big goal set over there with this kind of a combination and you are not having any small goals in between, suppose that main goal is going to take next 5 years to achieve, I will tell you, most of the time your mind will not be able to concentrate over that thing. So it is very important. I told you little minute goals are very important. Maybe 1 day goal, 1 week, 1 month goal. I need to do this thing, that thing. I need to earn that much amount of money. I need to lose weight, this thing or that thing. Any set of goals. It may be from personal or it may be from the professional life. So then along with that goal setting, after achieving that thing, you need to celebrate big. You need to celebrate big. After that celebration, your mind is going to then give you that nectar. Yes, I have achieved something and now I'm doing celebration. Then it becomes very easy for these individuals to actually climb towards much bigger goals. The reason why I'm talking about goal setting with this placement, because I have seen lot of successful people and lot of unsuccessful people with these individuals. If they become successful, then they look for more success. This is not a constant placement where they will feel, okay, now it's time to get retired and let me become stagnant over there. No. It becomes very difficult for you to find a retirement even with this combination. So the only way to actually go along, because 6th house is daily routines, that is directly hitting your incoming gains. So their mind will feel totally stuck if they are doing some 9 to 5 job. Like, oh my goodness, I need to wait for a month to receive that paycheck or salary in my bank account. Maybe I can do something else. So you see, their energy is actually dissipated into various and different directions. Sometimes this can even create multiple careers also. And these individuals, yes, have that ability to establish themselves into multiple careers as well. The only problem with this combination is actually where the lack of goal setting part is coming, where they don't have that definite goal. Energy is going to be present inside these individuals, but it depends where they are dissipating their energy. So that is going to be a very interesting take. Now if the 6th house lord going in the 12th house, you can see, first of all, here the 6th house lord will feel very comfortable most of the time. Even if the planet is debilitated or if it is in a very weak dignity, still that planet will feel a sense of relief if it is going in the 12th house. Because here one set of life, you will find the escape route somehow. most of the individuals who are watching this video, I know you are having your own schedule, going to job and then feeding families, or if you are a housewife watching this video, looking after kids. So this combination will give you the escape route. When I say escape route, if you do some sort of a spiritual sadhana, if you do some sort of a mantra chanting in your life, if you practice a very simple lifestyle, then I will tell you this placement have the ability to give you wonderful amount of results. Even most of the time, 6th house lord in the 12th house, suppose they are working, they are doing some sort of a job, or they are doing some sort of a calculations in their mind, still their mind is not fully concentrated over that thing. They are always looking for the escape route. You know that planners, when okay, let me go outside and have one free time over there. So this is that kind of a placement, and this is very good for you, because I will tell you 6th house always want to protect you. This is also the protection house. This is offering you protection from the enemies. So the only way to deal with your enemies is through the spiritual progression in your life. I will make some separate video on spiritual progression and how to deal with your enemies spiritually. But as of now, let's concentrate over this topic. Also, one very important thing, 6th and the 12th, this is going to be a difficult placement from the marriage and marital life aspect. Because planet in the 12th house have the capability to bring marriage, or sometimes this can create a halting factor. When I say halting factor, consider a wall, or if I put a mountain in front of you. So no matter how hard you try to break that mountain, you will not be able to break that thing. So the sthan parivartan, change of place, is also a very, very good remedy for these individuals. If you are not successful yet, if you are not earning the desired money, if you are not good in investments, if you are not good in that thing or that thing, look, I told you the obstruction is actually coming from the 4th house. 4th house is actually your home. This is the most comfortable house in Vedic astrology. But 6th and the 12th, I will tell you here, comforts will not come very easily. Even if that comforts will come, that will only come through the 12th house. That is while you are doing some sort of yoga, meditation or spiritual practice. Even if you are an IT professional, doing some coding activity with this placement, you will not be able to continue that thing. Why? Because of the escape route. This is that kind of a placement where emotional engagement is very necessary, where you are working at the same time, dealing with other people, listening to other people, and they're solving their problems. So that is going to be their mindset. Even if they become, for example, in the field of finance, they become LIC agents or insurance agents. So they are that kind of agents that will go into your home, meet with every family member, and you will feel very cozy around them. You know that mind reading capabilities are actually given by these things. Even this placement sometimes show karmic debt, although this is a negative part of Vedic astrology which I'm teaching you right now. When I say karmic debt, planets like Saturn, Moon, even Sun, and also Mars, Sun, Moon, Mars, and even Saturn. Specifically, if these planets are posited in the 12th house, other areas of your life is going to be set, but family, relationship and marriage, this area is going to be unsettled area. Other area means the career, the spirituality, the money part is most, like you are going to be 99% okay, but here only 1%. Because I told you it represents some sort of a karmic debt as well. Some ancestral curses are also seen with these placements if the planet is extremely negative, and even in the Namash Kundli if that planet is very, very weak. So this is actually a mixed kind of 6th and the 12th. We need to have an overall chart analysis in actually to decode the mysteries of this thing. Next is the 6th house lord going in the Lagna. So first of all, 6th house is your enemies and they are attacking you all the time. They are sitting over your head all the time. Routine is sitting over your head all the time. This is actually a most workaholic individuals. You know, working not only 9 to 5, but working 9 to 9 and then working 24 hours a day. This is that kind of a placement. And yes, these individuals have the ability to exert their energy, to dissipate their energy. Even they are going to be the individuals that will initially feel the burden of family also. if the dignity of planet is not very powerful and if their lagna is also not very strong, what is going to happen? In their complete family, they need to become the eldest one. And when I say eldest one, they need to actually hold on the responsibilities of their mother, their father, sometime their siblings also. And they will learn these things from the very initial stages of their life. And I will tell you, consider this thing as a big stone or big blockage. If I suppose put one stone over your head, it becomes difficult for you to move. This have the ability to break your momentum. You will not be able to move fastly with these kind of planetary alignments. But I will tell you that karmic settlement of that thing is going to be happening at the sometime Saturn maturity or sometime at the age of 42. And then these individuals, they tend to feel the relief, sense of relief. I will tell you, with this kind of a combination, their life is going to be totally different before the age of 42 and after the age of 42. Totally different life. Also, these individuals, as I told you, the constant energy from the 6th house is coming towards them. That is the, like, all the challenges, all the struggles and all the hardships also. But if their moon is also very powerful in the Kundali, and their Jupiter is also forming some connection with that 6th house lord, either by aspect, conjunction, then what is going to happen? These individuals have one of the most positive approaches towards life. You know, that problem solving kind of a mentality. Like, even they are facing a lot of difficulties, still they have that problem solving mindset. Like, how can I solve this problem? No matter how, like, I will tell you, this is a never ending challenging part. Like, if one problem ends second and third, fourth, fifth, seventh, 10th, 100. So their complete life, I will tell you, their life is actually go towards dealing and solving the problems of other people. It is very important for you to start enjoying this process rather than waiting for future to end this process and then you will do something else. This is up to you how you can manage your daily routine of like 24 hours. But if 8 hours you are giving towards dealing, struggling, 8 hours towards sleeping, then the other 8 hours you must need to devote towards doing something else. That is going to be most beautiful part with this kind of a combination. Now, if the 6th house lord going in the 2nd house, pure business combination, because these individuals have that sense of rotation of money happening all the time. I will tell you here, dignity of planet is going to play a very important role here. Please keep this thing in your mind. But this is a pure business placement. Because here what is happening, 6th house is your loan, mortgage, debt, acquiring money, and then converting that money into savings, how they can process their mind towards the investment part also. This is also a very good combination if you want to work as an independent consultant. It may be consulting in the field of Vedic Astrology, numerology, palmistry, financial consultant, tax consultant, or any other consulting activities are very good for these individuals. Any sort of advisory, like where you are giving advice towards other people, is also very good for you. Also, sometimes this placement of 6th in the 2nd is going to be very disturbing placement from the family end. And why disturbing? Because as soon as that progression in their life will start happening, they tend to realize the mistakes which their family had made. And most of the time, why they are here right now is only because of the planetary karmas associated with their parents also. Because this is your Kutumb Sthan. Enemies are going towards the Kutumb. It means you have no need to look for the enemies outside. They are just present inside your home. You need to look over there. Even with this combination, this is actually quite a strong and powerful business yoga, as I told you. And when I say business yoga, if you look in a Kalpursh Kundli, 2nd house is ruled by the sign of Taurus, 6th house is ruled by the sign of Virgo. So you see that earth element is very strongly involved if this kind of exchange is happening. Now it doesn't matter whether you are a Capricorn ascendant or Virgo ascendant or Libra ascendant, it doesn't matter. But still that earth exchanges its energy. So if that 6th and 2nd is exchanging the energy constantly, this will help them to produce a money. Create something and then producing money. This will also give a lot of multiple sources of income with these kind of combinations. And I will tell you, if they start earning money, the money will flow very easily towards them. If the difficulty is there, then it becomes very difficult. I told you it depends upon dignity. If the dignity of planet is weak, very difficult to save money. Like one day they are earning and next day they are spending. So then they need to look for more investment part with this combination. Now if the 6th house lord is going in the 3rd house, first of all I will tell you, this is also very, very powerful combination, because the 6th house is your day-to-day activities, is now getting connected with the 3rd house of the challenges also. 3rd house is your willpower, your courage. So I will tell you, these are the most courageous individuals in this entire universe. But from the marriage and relationship standpoint of view, this is not going to be considered as a good combination. Why I am telling you this thing? Because initially I told you 6th house is exchanging energy with the 7th house and the 5th house, because this is connected with these two houses. So the gains from the 6th is going to be seen specifically from the 7th house. And I will tell you that 3rd house is also the dissipation of energy. 3rd house is the house of your communication also. This is the effort, the energy you need to put forward towards doing anything. So first of all, it becomes very difficult from the sustenance of relationship with this combination. Very hardcore job. Even it becomes very, very difficult for these individuals to get married upon time. Even if they get married upon time, difficult from the sustenance and survival of relationship. Also one very interesting thing, 6th in the 3rd is that kind of a placement where they are putting their efforts, they are investing their energy in this one particular direction, and they are obtaining results from then other particular direction. So here I will tell you, don't discourage yourself to actually I'm putting efforts in this direction or gaining that thing, because this combination is going to become a more and more practical combination. This combination is demanding more practicality into your life rather than any sort of theoreticalness. This combination will also kill the chances of making easy money. You know, lottery winners or that from share market and stock market income. Although these individuals going to have a very strong inclination towards earning through speculation, because I will tell you, 3rd house is also the house which represents your subconscious mind. 3rd house is also the cleverness of a person. Some individuals, they cleverly put their efforts in this direction and then they will gain result. But some individuals foolishly put their efforts in the wrong direction throughout their life, and they are complaining all the time and not receiving results. So I will tell you that 6th in the 3rd will give these individuals that set of understanding very initially. Like if I'm going to do this thing, this is not going to work out, so I need to leave it. And I will tell you, yes, you have that courage present inside you to leave everything behind. Here I will tell you one more thing, don't try to too much materialistically engage if that combination is forming in your kundli, and even don't invest too much in the relationship aspect also. The more and more you are going to become self-centered person, the more this is going to be good for you. Otherwise this is going to be a challenging placement. Next is the 6th house lord going in your comfort zone in the 4th house. I will tell you, this will never going to create any sort of a comfortable environment in your life. This is one of the most uncomfortable situations. Have you seen the individuals complaining all the time regarding, like, I have achieved everything with very hard work and very dignity, and now why I'm still over there? This is that combination. Here comfort zone is going to be the biggest killer. Also 6th house lord going in the 4th house is not going to decide a place where you are going to stay, because this is that kind of a combination where this planet, that 6th house lord, initially want you to look all the struggles, all the challenges in your life. You need to go through this thing to that thing to that thing to that thing, and nothing is going to work out. Even if you look at their pattern, job pattern or career pattern, they will go through multiple set of experience in their life. Like 1 to 2 years they are doing this thing, then 1 to 2 they are doing this thing, 1 to 2 they are doing this thing, that thing and that thing. And when all set of experiences they will combine one together, they will create something new. This is also very pure, like a business oriented mindset kind of a personality, because if you study that 6th house lord going in the 4th house, particularly this is going 11 places away. So you know that sneak heads or that data banks who's going to have that kind of a mindset that are constantly looking for opportunities. This is that kind of a placement. But I will tell you, this is going to be disturbing placement from health aspect also. Problems with regards to like the cholesterol part. If the planets like Jupiter and benefics are over there, high cholesterol, lungs problem, breathing issues, they will eventually come into your horoscope. This placement, on one hand, if it is blessing you with monetary gains or financial freedom, on second hand, this is going to take away the health part. I recommend you with this placement, your main concern is truly going to be over the health part. Also, 4th house is the marital bliss, happiness, satisfaction which you are going to receive after marriage. Here, if the dignity of planet is very weak, so it becomes very difficult for you to take a rejoice out from the marriage. If the dignity of planet is very powerful, still very difficult for you to take that rejoice of the marriage. Because I will tell you, this is not a very comfortable placement if you understand this thing. And if they will not be able to build a comfort zone around them, then they will not be able to sleep properly at night. And that is why these individuals put forward all their efforts towards achieving some sort of securities. It may be materialistic securities. I need to have a big home, big car, big bungalow, need to have this much bank balance, this much money. So they are that kind of a mentalities. Now lastly, the 6th house lord is going in the 5th house. First of all, it becomes difficult for these individuals to pick education curriculum also. And when I say education curriculum, that is the bachelor's degree. Because their mindset is not going to engage with the kind of education they are going to pursue in their life. But in the later stages, this is going to be a good combination at the time they start doing something practically. Competition is going to be a very bad aspect with the 6th and the 5th. But creation is a very good aspect. I encourage all of you, if you are watching this video and if you are in the very initial stages at the age of 20, 22 and 25, I encourage you to focus upon the creation part. Create something which is going to help or serve the society in some better ways possible. But don't fall into the trap of competition. This is a very bad placement. Even one more important thing, if you are a married person, then from the childbirth perspective, this is also going to be a very difficult placement, specifically with the female chart also. It shows that difficulties are actually going to come at the time of conceiving a child, at the time of giving birth to a baby. This is going to be a very problematic thing. Secondly, 6th house, I told you, this is the house of your enemies also. This is the house of some sort of a karmic debt. If that is going in the 5th house, karmic debt is going to come through your children. Immediately after obtaining a child, either this placement is going to bless you with full prosperity and abundance, or either this placement have the ability to take away all your mental peace because of that karmic debt. Vedic astrology is a very interesting subject. I will tell you, even some of the predictions I don't have the ability to change. I don't have even the ability to change the individual planetary alignments. But still, this science is going to give you a way of life, how to live a life in the better way. This placement is also very good if you want to do something contribution in the field of spirituality, Vedang and even Jyotish Shastra. Because 5th house is the house of your mantra sadhanas, chanting of mantras. 5th house is also a very old knowledge, ancient knowledge. This is actually originally the fiery sign of that Leo. This is a trine house. So if that 6th house lord is touching the 5th house, this is also becoming a very pious and pure planet. With the passage of time, all the impurities or even the shadripus, that 6 enemies, that jealousy factor, that hunger towards acquiring materialistic things, jealousy factor, which are all lust, greed, these things are present inside you, your ego. So this placement have the ability to kill all your shadripus one by one. And then this is going to make you saint-like of a creature. If particularly you are in a parivartan or some sort of exchange in dashas between Rahu and Jupiter, you will see, you will feel, you will sense that kind of a change is actually present inside me. This is that kind of a placement where the suffocation is happening. You will feel suffocated, like some burden have actually put over my 5th house. And in order to remove that suffocation, they need to do some sort of a contribution. When I say contribution, it may be in the field of writing a book, giving speech, sharing knowledge, doing charity, working with NGOs or any other thing. Only then this placement will give you that mental peace. And even last important thing, please do the mantra chanting. If 6th in the 5th, this can give you mantra siddhi. I don't know whether you are familiar with these siddhis or not. Siddhi means the attainment of something very powerful. So this is going to be happening over there. So I hope you have found some deep insights in this particular video as well. If you have any queries, any consultations with regards to your horoscope, planetary alignments, please do let me know at my email ID. I will try my best to respond you back as soon as possible. So till then, please subscribe my channel below and make sure to hit the like button. You can send me super thanks if you enjoyed this video. You can share my YouTube channel with all the friends, family members who are in love with Vedic astrology, and follow me on Instagram as well. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon with the 7th house Lord going through all the 12 houses, marriage karmas. Till then, bye bye and take care.